Just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of The Locker Room. We have returned. And there's fucking no one better that I want to return with than the big fella, Latrell Mitchell. What's going on, brother?
Nah, not much, brah. Not much. Cruising, eh?
How's the off-season going?
Going good, brah. Just doing a bit of rehab and that now at the moment. With, 3 days. I've just finished actually my block now. I'm a little period and going into November, I just have that off and I'll still keep kicking over and kicking and then come in late November and start pre-season.
How's it been like COVID? Like, explain to footy fans and that are like sitting there going, I wonder what it's like to be living in the bubble, like all the pressure of playing footy, but you can't go out, you get stung if you do anything small, but you just want to enjoy yourself as a person as well. What's it been like?
Nah, it's a struggle. Like even like you ask any rugby league player that went through that stage in COVID, and I can only imagine like obviously when we first went into lockdown, everyone and footy went. Just took off, like wasn't even a thing anymore. It was always this
so weird, bro.
Pandemic, and everyone's panicking and but being in a bubble, then obviously the pressure of playing rugby league is enough as it is, and then especially being able to go do what you love, and I love traveling and going and doing what I have to do, and
because you're pretty outdoorsy, eh?
I can't I'm more like claustrophobic, So if I'm in the house, I'm just sitting in there running around, the walls, and like just being in the house, you got kids or you got your missus or whoever you live with, and, they have to do the same thing as you, know what I mean? Like they can go to the shops, come back, and that's about it. Like it was just crazy.
So it just in a quick, like, what were the restrictions? Like what what was a normal day for you? You finished training, and what were you allowed to and not allowed to do?
Just straight back home.
Boom, straight home.
Yeah. So if you live by yourself, say if you were obviously young fella playing, and then you live by yourself, you could go to do the essential, like your shopping, get whatever you need, and then straight home, and that's it. And then it was just straight training, straight back, and that was it. Like if you have someone to go shopping for you that lives in the same household,
they have to.
Yeah, they got to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So basically, you're for the last, let's say, 3 months, most of the boys would go to training, go home, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Far out,
and
bro.
not be able to get a coffee, like proper coffee.
Yep. Just like the little things.
Yeah, little things, bro. And then eventually it got to the point where they sort of started easing off a little bit. And I swear it went for like 2 weeks where we were allowed to go to a coffee, order it, have a fee with the boys and that. And then it sort of went back to that fucking...
Yeah, the full lockdown.
Yeah, full lockdown. And it was just crazy. Like, especially even like checking in at footy and that, like... We'll get it to the game and we'd have to, scrub our feet on this mat.
Really?
They'd spray our feet with, Glen
spray
20.
your feet.
You'd have, your socks would be wet by the time you get in, and, and you haven't even played the game. And, temperature check, fucking, it was just crazy. Like, even like of a morning, NRL got this app and that, we had to check, like, we'd go if you had symptoms and everything. So if you had a symptom, you couldn't come in, you had to go see the doctor straight away, get swabbed. But
so it was just full on.
Yeah, crazy. Like, too much, I reckon.
Do you reckon, did you spend more time with the players because you were like, man, I don't want to go home and just sit there doing nothing?
So we pretty much just go train, and then I reckon we'd sit around for 3 or 4 hours after just...
Because you didn't want to sit at home doing nothing?
There was nothing else to do. We could only be in that training or in, and even like when we were training, like people weren't even allowed. Like Redfern was all locked. The gates. Wasn't allowed anyone in there.
Yep.
Every time the ball went over the fence, we had to scrub it with soap. Like it was just
just hectic. Far out.
Full like
that's
crazy,
hectic, bro. What was the running joke with the boys? Like, COVID.
No, don't want to say it. No. It's just crazy, bro. Like,
fuck, he's got COVID. The cunt, he's got COVID. Every time someone coughs, get out of here.
Because I reckon it was probably the first day of like when we had to do the checkpoints and that, and I had an itchy throat, and they full sent me out like.
I remember the articles and that.
They dragged me like
really?
out the door.
Were you like, bro, I'm sweet?
Yeah, I was like, mate, it's itchy throat. Nah, you gotta go. You gotta get swabbed. Swabbed, everything. I was like, oh, this is torture.
And you just knew the media were gonna pick up on it.
Yeah, and they got me straight away, and I was like, oh,
bro,
spewing.
Speak us through that. Obviously the COVID, drama that happened before it. A lot of people don't realise that was your property, eh? Like that's where you lived.
Yeah, that's my block. Like, I understand. Like, it's not. We're trying obviously out there in the media all the time. We're in the spotlight, and I wasn't trying to do anything other than be myself where I was. I was up there before even COVID even hit. So when we went to that period where we went, righto, footy's not going to be on for don't know how long for, and that's when the period. And I was already up there because I was just about to have my second born.
Yeah.
And that was when Wayne was like, yeah, righto, sweet, stay up there, and then that was it. And then I was up there before, and then I didn't know because Foxy was sort of going through the same period, you know, with that. And
Yeah.
like his missus was pregnant, and he was up the coast, up at Kempsey. So she's from Kempsey.
Yep.
And he was pretty much doing the same thing. But I understand, like, you know, you can't be riding motorbikes and mucking around on beaches.
It's like one of those things where, like, if you had your time back, obviously you wouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't do it. Like, you don't post stuff like that.
Just
like,
silly.
It's common sense.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, and it is what it is. No, it was just crazy, bro. Because, like I said, we already go through it enough as footy players. But, you know, week in, week out, you know yourself.
Bruh, 100%.
You know, people are running you down. And social media's only gotten bigger over, you know, since your time. You know what I mean?
100%. Like, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it.
I don't even know why we're on it. You know what I mean? But I guess it's sort of like a way where we can sort of go into other avenues as well. Like you know, you get, obviously, you know, everyone wants to send you merch, you know, to rep it for them and whatnot. Like, obviously, you know, beers and that. Like,
well, put it this way, bro. Like, when I retired, I had no social media following, 0 followers. When you retire, you've got hundreds of thousands of people that you not own because Instagram own it, but you like essentially own it. Yeah. That's value, bro. So like, it's a double-edged sword. Like, you don't want to listen to people that are talking shit all the time.
Yeah.
But also, it's extremely valuable. Like, put it this way: if you were to do, let's say you're an Instagram model, like one of the chicks or whatever, for your following, it's like what, 250,000 or something like that, or 180,000?
Yeah, something like
that. Whatever it is, bro. They charge like 10 grand a post for that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I to be honest, like, I know it's easy to say now, but I think it's actually a good thing that Josh and Cleary happened, because it made sure all the other boys were like, fuck, boys, we got it, we can't like fuck up. Whereas I feel like if that didn't happen, something bad would happen during the footy pitch, like when it was playing.
Learn the lesson.
Learn the lesson early, 100%, bro. But take us back to a young Trelly. So obviously you grew up in Taree.
Yeah, born in Taree. Played for Taree Red Rovers.
Yeah. Bro, I've seen videos that's so hectic of you younger, bro. Holy shit.
Nah, you know, my head wasn't sort of screwed on when I was young, so I was sort of just used to just go out and be, you know, I had a bit of, you know, like grubbiness, they reckon it's called now.
It's called fucking having a crack.
Yeah, so I've just had a dig all my life, and I've just been like that since I was young. And
no, but I've seen videos of you, like, you killing it at that. Have you, so ever since you were, like, with footy, was it like, as soon as you could actually think, were you like, footy's it, I love rugby league?
No, well, first, what I was doing, because I never liked footy, like, when I was
really
young. Yeah, no, so I just used to play because my older brother was playing it.
I swear.
And then I was playing younger grade, and then Dad was like, nah, you know, I'll pull you up with your brother.
Yep.
So I played up in age all my life then, you know, and as soon as I got to about 15, I was like, oh, I can actually, you know, be something, because I got a bit of a taste to come down here, and you know, I went to Central Coast, and because I was at on a farm milking cows before I even played footy, and
swear,
yeah, I was doing that for about.
So
a
you
year.
just love the farm life.
Yeah. But then I was just sick of milk, because cows, like, milking cows is just too much, you know, too much work, and I went, oh no, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life, you know what I mean? And I want to be, you know, I want to be someone and go and do something and get out of Taree. Then I can be able, like I do now, like I play footy, do what I love, you know, do what I got to do, and then get to go have the luxury of going home and being up there and doing, you know, all the things I love.
Best
of
both worlds.
Yeah, and that's what I live. I reckon I live, you know, double life, which is mad, because I get to be this, you know, this footy player on TV that I always dreamt about, but then I've always had these dreams outside of footy that I get to achieve now, you know, and I'm doing
100%. So when like you started playing when you're like probably 5, 6 years old?
Yeah, I would have been about 5, yeah.
And so at that point, it was just like bigger brothers playing. You know, love me family. Obviously, I just want to spend time with them and do what he's doing. Yeah. At what point did you try any other sports when you were really young?
No, not really. I tried everything. Like, I'd muck around with soccer and all that, but nothing like of a weekend. Like, footy was just the main, but like in school, I'd play golf, all the silly, like, just all the little sports, just because people were doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, you just follow your mates, sort of thing. Yeah. And then, footy was just like, I come home one day, me and my brother, and we said, we signed up to our
local
public school, a school footy team, and Dad was like, what do I, like, you know, and we were like, so he was, you know, and he started sort of teaching us how to play footy then. And
so when
footy, how to, you know, how to kick. And
so it wasn't until you just signed up together that your father was like, oh, you know, if that's what you want to do, I'll show you a few things.
Never pushed us in anything.
Okay.
He'd rather us play, you know, he would have played tennis because it's in, you know, the Goolagong.
In the blood.
So my mum's a Goolagong.
Yep.
I've never, and she's like, they're the good sportsmen on the other side as well. So they, you know, there was other sports like golf and the tennis and whatnot. Because my uncle's he's a you know, pretty good golfer, and you know, obviously my mum's auntie's you know, tennis player.
Yeah, one of the best.
Yeah, and then footy was just because Dad played, you know, and we were like, fuck, I'm going to be like Dad.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You know, I've always watched him, you know. I reckon 9 times out of 10, I've watched my dad play, he would be sent off, you know, for 10. You know, like, you wouldn't even get to watch a game. Like,
that's country footy,
yeah,
bro.
right,
Country footy.
You know, and he wouldn't even do nothing half the time. Rest of his cash.
Yeah,
Mitch,
he got like that reputation, and once he gets that, you're fucked. Especially out in the country because everyone knows everyone.
But he was a gun bar back in the day. He was 5'8", and
he
was a freak, bro. And you know, everyone I talk to now at the pub and that game, bro,
he was a gun.
You should have seen your dad back in the day. I've seen a couple of games, but because he come down and went to Marsland and that, and played down here, finished school. And then he was in like the 21s at South and that, and sort of went over to Balmain, had a crack, and nothing real serious, you know. Like he didn't really take it serious. Got a bit homesick and took off back home, and that was the end of it. And I reckon I've learned a lot off my old boy by his experience now, and it sort of made me a bit street smart, you know. When I come to Sydney, then I know not to hang around, what to do. And I think the biggest thing was just, you know, make something of yourself, you know, and then show people what you can be, who you are, and don't change for no one. That's all I've sort of held on to. From
your dad coming down here and that. So what point did it kind of click that, fuck, because like, and I know you wouldn't want to like say this and everything like that, but there's normal footy player talent, and then there's like talent like your own. When did it actually click that like you were? I assume you wouldn't have sat there and go, I'm special, but you would have sat there and gone, fuck, I'm actually like a level above my age group kind of thing.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was playing up an age, and I was, you know, up another level other than, you know, the boys older than me.
Okay, you know so you got playing better than the guys above you.
You know, and I just started thinking, well, you know, and then they were looking for, you know, always passed to me to do something, to look for, you know, the game, you know, break the game, or and I've always and I've sort of built that over time. It's not talent. Like, I don't think it's talent towards the way I used to break games, and I think it was just, you know, I guess I don't know, it was instinct more so, and then as soon as I got the ball, it was just natural, you know, where I could just go and run around someone or go through them, you know, put someone for a while. Because when I was young, I was playing fullback, and then me and my cousins were playing footy. You know how you do when you're young and you're playing, you know, you're watching the big, you know, the boys, the A grade and all that. And half time, you're like, run on the field, play a game. And my little cousin hit me, you know, like headbutted me in the knee and busted me. Like,
I swear.
I lost, like, I used to be like quickest kid.
Really? And then what's his name?
I just went nothing. And so Dad's like, well, if you can't run, I had about a year off, I reckon, when I was young.
Yeah. What do you reckon you did?
I don't know, and it's still sort of mucked up now. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Far out.
Like, headbutted me right in the top and just did on my knee.
So what did he do? One of those like P&G tackles where they come flying in?
No, I think he like tripped over.
Oh, really? And
like
then on the
knee. Like I was running and he tripped. I was like, I was going to numb him, but I didn't. But yeah, and then ever since then, I just wasn't the same. And then I jumped into 5'8" half, and then just started sort of steering the boys around.
Yep.
And it was just, you know, it started coming a bit natural, and then that's why, like, I sort of go, you know, when I was at the Roosters, I was like, you put me anywhere, I'll play.
Yeah.
Like, I've never played centre in my life. Never played centre.
So the first time you ever played centre was at the Roosters in first grade?
Yeah.
Because you debuted at fullback, eh?
Yeah.
Far out.
I debuted on the wing.
Okay.
And then the second game against Canberra, that's when I scored my first try at fullback.
Wow. So the first time you ever played centre was in first grade for the Roosters in your first year, maybe 2017. That's incredible, bro.
That's the first time I've ever sort of jumped in that position.
So it's crazy to think that, like, because you hurt your knee, you developed ball skills that, you know, even like when I was watching you this year, like, I obviously knew that you could play fullback, but I was shocked at how good your ball playing was, because like big fellas like you don't usually have ball playing like that.
It's usually the running.
Yeah, exactly.
But I always used to pride myself on my passing and that, you know, and I always I knew when I was 18 and that, you know, I'd always throw the odd flick pass and it'd go out, you know, and I'd know like, righto, well, I'm not going to go away from that. I'm just going to go, right, I'm going to work on it, and then, you know, and it's there, and it's going to be there every time, you know, and at least if I practice it more times, you know, and start thinking about it, then it's going to happen. Yep. And obviously, you know, grand final, boom, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a thing where I'd always get ripped for, you know, the coaches would go, no, I don't want you doing that. I said, nah, that's not how it is.
I just got to get it right.
Yeah, I've got to get it right.
Yep.
And that's how, like, I've always thought, like, in my passing, like, I'd be at, like, when I first come to South, I was trying to go long all the time, and it would go up, around, blah, 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 you know what I mean? And then I started to get to know who was on the wing, what my play, you know, and that's what it's all in
combinations.
the, you know what I mean? Like, And then I know AJ was there, so I'd just go, here's catch, and not even look.
Yep.
And just throw straight to him, and I know he'd catch it.
Yep.
And score.
Because of the combinations,
Just how what sort of player he is, you know,
Yep.
and he could catch, and he could score from anywhere on the field.
He's
AJ,
such a good winger.
You know what I mean?
Such a good
And
winger.
as soon as I knew that he was there, I'd just go and not even look. So Cody, me, and
Yep.
I'd just go straight away.
So it's more like any, I guess, if there are any young kids listening or whatever, it's not necessary to say like, oh, look how great this flick pass is. It's more about, instead of just getting rid of a good thing,
Yeah.
work on it so that you can get it right.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of kids, they'll be like, if they say don't flick pass, they'll just stop.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and that's why I've always been like, I've hated being told not to do
Yeah.
something. You know, I said, no, I'll just work on it.
Yeah.
That's in my own head.
Yeah.
But
That's
like,
good
if it comes
attitude,
to like a pass, and like people go, no, don't go long.
Yeah.
And I'll go,
I'm going long. Yeah,
It makes you want to go, you know what I mean?
100%.
And like
100%.
you said, some kids don't have that ability to go, righto, I'm going to work on it. But they just go, straight into their shell, go,
Yeah.
no, I won't do it now.
They don't have
and
that
that's when that robotic footy comes into it, you know what I mean? It's
100%.
just catch ball, run forward, boom.
Yeah. No, you're totally right, bro. When I was coming through, I came into first grade with like so much confidence. Like if there was a play, I'm taking it 100%. And then over the years, I had like multiple different coaches, and they just coached it out of me because like I was so scared to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And you're totally right. Like instead of thinking, okay, I should never flick pass, it's like let's work on it till it's perfect and it does the right thing, kind of thing. Okay, so even from a young age, you enjoyed the big moments. Like you enjoyed when the game's on the line, get the ball. to
Yeah,
you.
I used to get, a bit of awe when they go, righto.
Yeah,
Let's go,
fucking
boys,
oath.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just know, like,
Yep.
all right, but we need 1 or 2 tries. Let's just do it, and then just give me the ball, and then we'll put us to places. Because I always have my big brother out wide, or like, me and him would play 5'8" halfback.
Yep.
And if not, he'd be in centre, so I'd just kick to him.
Bruh,
The
biggest 5'8" fucking halfbacks in
I'm
the world.
telling you, he was a whopper, but too. Like, when he was like younger, he hit his growth spurt real quick.
Yeah.
So he was like the freak of the grade. And,
Yep.
And like he was just tall. Everyone just like, oh yeah, Shaq coming now.
Yeah.
And then that would help me sort of get around people.
Yep,
People
okay.
wouldn't be worrying about me.
Yep.
They'd be worrying about him.
Yep.
So I just go, do the Jonathan first and dummy or run through whatever,
Yep.
chip chases and set up everyone. And that's what it was grouse because I love playing with my older brother because
Yep.
everyone was looking at him.
Yep.
But I was doing all the other
Doing
stuff.
all the other stuff,
and
yeah,
it's the grouse,
100%.
bro. I loved it. That's why I love my school footy, the footy, back in Taree, the country footy and.
Yep.
And then, having a combination with your cousins and that, it was just all fun, bro. And that's what I loved
100%.
about it. And then, like I said, I just didn't really take it serious till I was about 15 and got the opportunity to come down here. And then...
So who spotted you when you were 15?
So I got up... Because my dad, like I said, he went to Marsland and then the school, I don't know what... He must have been a teacher there, but he went up to the Central Coast because he's from there. And he was like the big, manager up there. And he said, I'll bring him down and... we'll give them a crack and see how they go. And it just went from there. But I moved away at 15.
So where'd you move to?
To Central Coast. Well, I was going to Brisbane Waters for about 6 months, I think, just for the...
so you just went there for school, really, and footy?
Yeah, Howmatt sort of gig. And
So was that with the Knights? Was it not with the Knights?
yeah, they were the feeder club of Central Coast Centurions.
Okay.
But then, because I went to Newey and had a trial, and I was playing 5'8" at the time, me and Brock Lamb, and Brock obviously got the, pick over me, but...
Oh, bro, they chose Brock Lamb.
it was free,
Far
bro.
out.
Yeah,
You're filthy.
then they put me on the wing, and then I was like, what am I doing here?
On the wing.
I'm playing 5'8", going through them all, supporting the forwards, as you do as a halfback.
Yeah.
And then, Brocky Lamb got out. I was like, spewing, bro.
Spewing?
And every time, I'd go home and play Group 3 or something, and me and him would always into it. He'd play for Maitland, and I'd be Group 3, and me and him would just be into it.
Yeah, that's mad.
You know?
That rivalry.
Yeah.
It's funny, doesn't matter how far you go or whatever, you've always got that rivalry with, certain people. Like, when I grew up playing soccer, there was always this, one team.
Yeah.
And even to this day, if I was to play them in any sport, I'll fucking be in all, mate.
Yeah. I used to just... because there was Taree Red Rover, and then there was Taree Panthers. So we started the maddest little battles.
So when Newey picked, essentially chose him over you, what did you have the option to stay and play, or that was
nothing. That was it.
cut?
You know how you just go for the day. You know your name's there. You can go righto, sweet, and have a go.
Yep.
And if you stand out, they'll pick you.
Yep.
And then I thought, I'll have a crack, and I thought nothing. I was like, no, another letdown. And then I went over to, because my brother got sort of eyed off from the Bulldogs, and then because he had his injury at the time with his ankle. Yeah. They said, we'll give your little brother a crack, and I said I had a crack there and played pretty good, and I was going all right, and nothing still. And
so the doggies.
Yeah, nothing.
So you've gone Knights, doggies.
Yeah.
Did you get deterred at all? Were you kind of because again, you're a generational talent. Were you always like, no, I can make it, or were you like, fuck, I don't know what's doing?
That's where I was sort of questioning, and then I said to Dad, I said, I don't know what I want to do anymore, and he said, give one more opportunity with, you know, the Central Coast team. I know they're not as big as, you know, the Bulldogs and, you know, the NRL clubs, juniors, but I think, you know, you can sort of shine there. And I think that when I went there, I was just like, and then I started making a name for myself. Made 16s Origin, you know, with Brock Lamb and Cogger, Jack Cogger, all them boys, Jesse Ramian, you know, all them boys. And then I was playing fullback at the time as well, so it was just, you know, it sort of started to fit. And then I think I played the Roosters one day and I scored 3 tries at Henson Park on SG, at Helmats, and that was it. Then I just went from there. And,
so the Roosters saw you playing and they picked you up.
And then,
far out. That's crazy to think that, you know, 2 NRL teams basically didn't even have a development spot for you.
Yeah.
Because, like, people that are listening, you've got a big development squad, then you've got the elite squad. Usually, this is what was the Broncos. Development is like decent players that, you know, might be able to make it, and like someone like you should definitely make at least that.
Yeah.
And then you've got the elite squad, which is like your throbbers that are like pretty much going to go straight into the first grade squad when they leave school. Yeah. And so you couldn't even make either of those ones at those 2 clubs.
Nah. Well, I think it was a bit different because obviously being a country boy and, you know, not having the connections like some city fellas would have, you know what I mean? Like,
they know who they are.
Their dad would know someone that knows someone, you know what I mean? And that's how it was. I knew no one, you know what I mean? My dad knew no one.
Okay.
And it was just like, well, I've got to give us the actual, you know, I've got to work harder than everyone else, you know what I mean? And that's how I used to think.
Yeah.
And I only started getting hungry, like I said, when I was about 15, and I sort of said, all right, well, this is my last chance. I'm going to give it one more crack, and then that's it.
That's
and
crazy,
then, bro.
bro.
I was just like, nah, I'm sick of it. Like, my dad, I never used to train, never used to do nothing. I used to think, my shit don't stink, this and that.
Yeah.
I'm better than everyone. And then my dad's flipped my mindset, was like,
just like, you need to pull your head in, bro.
Pull your fucking head in.
Yeah.
You know, you're not better than anyone. No one, you're not, you know, because I used to go, he's full of shit. My teammates or something, you know.
Yeah.
No one's fucking shitter than you know what I mean? Like, you'd yell at that and be like, fuck. You know, and it's your dad saying that.
You got to listen.
Yeah, and I go, fuck. And my dad's I just idolise him, bro, and still do to this day. Like, you know, this is my best mate. We hang out every time. We go fishing every time. And anything he says, I just take it in, you know, 100%. And when he said that to me, it just went like that, and I just got hungry. I was like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, pull my head in.
Yeah.
Be more, I guess, humble. Towards my teammates and all that, and that's when I sort of went like, right, I'll put my team first, and that's when I sort of started getting a bit more, you know. And as I got a bit older, I got better with, you know, my ball skills, the game, and knowing that, and it just started being, you know, more, I guess, hungrier for you know, to make it, and like I said, 16, 17, and come SG Ball, won a comp there first year, and played 20s that year, and broke my collarbone, and Boyd Cordner actually broke it, eh?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was
Boydie.
filthy, bro.
What a dog.
Only a young fella, bro, 17. You know, you come up, train, you know, do a pose in 20s, and boom, jumped on me, eh? And I was just,
broke it.
I was like, fuck.
He goes 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then as I started coming in the grade, and then I said, oh, fuck, I want to get this guy. You know what I mean? But nah, we all ended up on the same edge then, you know what I mean? So it was just like, well, we've got to work together now and be, you know, we're fucking, I reckon we're one of the best left edges for, you know,
100%.
years, you know what I mean?
100%. So. And it's like, actually, speaking of Boyd, like, tell people that, you know, a lot of people with Boyd Cordner, unless you know footy, you don't actually know how good he is. You don't see all the little shit that he does.
Nah, that's what it's about, eh? Like, people in the stands will go, oh, Latrell Mitchell just scored the, you know, length field try, but didn't really see what Boyd Cordner did up until then, you know what I mean? Like, you know, the hard impact, stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, there's a lot of players that do the hard yards but don't get accredited for it because people don't understand the details that we put into playing, like the yardage carries. Like, you wouldn't see me taking a yardage carry, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean, bro? Like, I can leave it to big toops to do. You know, he'd go, bro, I'll do it. I said, bro, you do that. I'll look after you at the end. You know, when I got into that other side of the footy, you know, he'd look after the, you know, the coming out. I'd look after the scoring the tries and doing that part, you know, and setting him up or whatever. And that's how me and him used to talk.
Yep.
And that's why I think we made our like good connection. And
100%.
You know,
and that's what people don't realise is like, you could come in and do fucking 20 scoots, but that's not what you're there for. You know, Toops is so good at that.
Yeah.
And you're so good at when the moment comes, you take advantage of the moment.
Exactly.
And it's all about, you know, offering two different things. Like if everyone is doing 20 scoots, you're never going to score because you're just going to be a robotic team that's doing nothing.
Exactly. And I never thought, like, I thought, if when Toops is tired, I said, bro, let me know and I'll take a carry for it. And that's when I go, right. And then anytime I take carry because Toops was tired, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And then if he wasn't tired, he'd be doing it, and then I'd just do my part up in the end, you know. And that's where, like that, where Trent was like, righto, just keep doing that.
Yeah,
You know
keep it
what I
up.
mean?
Yeah, it's working.
But when he needs you, I need you to take a carry. And I said, sweet, righto, I'll be there.
Yeah.
And I'd do that. And
Yeah.
that was my job.
A lot of people don't realise that.
Yeah, and people just run me down because, I said I'm not making, 100 metres a game. I said, I'd make 40 or 50 metres, but them 40 or 50 metres would count, There'd be the points in between that margin.
Yeah.
But people don't understand. And I don't look at all that statistic stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about
the footy.
Ice and, the game.
100%. And that's what people don't realise is like, if you had 17 of you just worrying about that wouldn't work. If you had 17 people just doing the scoots, that also doesn't work. You need your game breakers, you need your scooters, and like people don't also understand that you could do that. You could go and do 20 scoots, but that hurts the team because then
I'm tired.
Yeah, exactly.
And it takes away from what I'm good at.
Yeah,
and that's what I say. I'll take 4 or 5 carries a game. I touch the ball, but then I would make them count.
Yeah, 100%.
Away, or Alex away.
Yeah. And it's the same with like Boyd Cordner. Like he may not be the same as Viliami Kickout, but he's doing shit that you don't see, like tying in from the inside,
kick pressures,
the hardest hit ups ever, like the one off the ruck, fucking coming out of your hand. No one wants it, and Boyd Cordner's doing it, or he's hitting a line, getting to the tram line, so that you've got a 3-on-2 on the outside or a 4-on-3 or whatever. And I always try to explain that to people, like there are roles in footy teams, and the Roosters at last year especially. You've all played your role perfectly.
Well, it's just like at work. You got your computer fellas. It's like how you work in your workforce.
Yeah, 100%.
It doesn't matter if you got your bricklayers, you got your carpenters.
Yeah,
they all do different jobs, don't they?
100%.
You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing. Like,
absolutely.
You got your your lads are gonna carry out for you, do the hard yard.
Yeah.
You got obviously me carrying out the set up stuff.
Yep.
Cooper to steer everyone around. Or Adam Reynolds, Cody's the same thing. Sets up everything.
Yep.
And then you got. Adam Reynolds a kick everywhere. He puts it on the fucking dime. 9 times out of 10.
He had such a good year this year.
Freak, bro. I love the boys now. Since he come over, I've just bonded so grouse with them. It's only been like nearly 12 months. And
I knew you would, bro. Before you'd even signed there, I was like, I think Rabbitohs is just the perfect spot. The perfect spot
Wayne
for you.
just makes it a lot better for everyone, And yourself, obviously, not the way, what we yarned about, but. He just the things he says, I guess. But he loves learning too, bro. Like,
I'm with you, bro. No, don't get me wrong. He's ruthless. Yeah. Especially when you're a winger, he'll fucking pay you nothing.
Bro, he gives it to him.
100%. But he also he's the best coach I've ever had. Yeah. Because he just gets you. Yeah. He understands everyone's different.
But you know what's good? Because me and him are like, we sort of bonded real quick because we share the same interests with, our other life that we live, And he's got his farm. I've just bought my own. And it's just, we've connected like real quick, man. Yeah. Or, I'll be running around, getting the ball out the back and that. He'll be talking about his cows and, it'd be funny,
Yeah, 100%.
Because he doesn't take it serious. Like, he just loves being around the boys. Boys would be having a couple of beers or something in the shed. And he's never touched, no drink or nothing, in his life. And that's, he's going 70 odd, years now. And like to do that, but love being around the culture. Boys and that's what he's about. And that's what I've picked up on him straight away. And and I'm pretty good with people, and knowing, he's just the man. Like, he just knows everyone and what they're about, what they need. And it's freaky, bro.
And it makes you want to play for him. Yeah. You're like, some coach could be an army sergeant and you'd be like, bro, I'm off you. Whereas some guy could be like Wayne and you'll work harder than you would for the army drill sergeant because you love him and you're like, bro, I don't want to let you down. I don't want to poison
I think everyone this year, I think the front rowers, I got to give them a rap this year. Massive. People always running it down and saying, nah, I don't think they're going to go out with the top teams. But at the end of the day, it's not what, the size are different. It's what it's in here,
100%.
The boys just went, right, I want to do this for Wayne. Wayne was like, and then, obviously Big Semi had a big impact on when he come in and started, being in the bubble with us. And, you wouldn't even see the front rowers. They'd be over doing their own thing. And you just see what Semi's drilling into them, Big Johnny Sutton, bro, the same thing. Back rowers. That's why, Sewer's been doing his job. And, and you got, who's the other side? Ciro. And as soon as he come in, man,
leaps and bounds.
Was grouse.
100%.
And Cody just was loving Ciro, man. It was just
mate, he was gun. Bro, at the start of the year, I was like, man, I just reckon forwards, their bidding experience. I said, if Wayne can develop some forwards, that'll be great. But at the moment, and they proved me wrong. They proved everyone wrong. Yeah. I honestly believe that the Rabbitohs this year proved a lot of people wrong. Yeah.
But we got a lot to do, bro. That's what's good about it. You go in now and you see boys still training now, and we're off. Yeah, boys are just loving it because they're motivated.
100%.
That's the younger fellas that have just debuted as well too. So
really,
which is grouse, which is grouse. Because you go, when I was, when I debuted, you wouldn't see me doing extras.
Nah,
You
no,
know what I
me
mean?
neither, bro.
I'm like, I'm here for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, but that's
Yeah.
how I used to think. And I was
Yeah.
like, and then now I've got an injury. I go, right, I've got to actually, I've got to put all these things into place where I'm going, right, this is where I'm going to be in 5-6 months time where I'm playing again, you know what I mean, where I want to be at my best. If I can't do that now, then where am I going to be? I won't be playing next year, you know what I mean?
100%.
But when I see these young fellas, like, I'm saying young fellas, but they're like, young
fellas.
I feel like I'm, because I've played a lot longer, but
100%.
But it's good. It's grouse seeing them big forwards in there just doing their thing and you know doing the sweats up and it's grouse. I just love it.
So you get signed by the Roosters. You win the SG Ball or whatever. What was when you got your debut? So your debut was 2016. Sorry, 2016. Robbo came to club 2013. Sorry. So your debut was 2016. Robbo. How did it happen? How was it? You were 18 as well?
Yeah, I just turned 18.
Yep.
I think they were just waiting on me to turn 18.
Okay.
So I went over to, they took me over to, I just turned 18. They took me over to play the World Club Challenge.
Yep.
It was just against St. Helens.
Yep.
And that's where I sort of had a couple runs there and it was just great. Like put me on at centre.
Yep.
And then I was on the wing with, Kenny Down inside. And then, I just went from there. I was just, slipping and sliding around England in the wet fields and then I went and played 9. I think 9s was a big thing too, a big part of my development. You
went really well at 9s, didn't you?
Yeah,
yep.
So we went good. And
that would have given you confidence.
Yeah, like, you're playing against these big lads and you're getting the ball running around them. It's great,
Yeah, 100%.
And then you're on TV, which gives you more, you're a young fella, so you're like,
you're loving
frothing
it.
it, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
You're like scoring tries, doing whatever,
Yeah.
And it's biggest crowd,
Yeah.
And then I went from there, then, coming to that season, he's like, yeah, mate, I'm going to put you on the wing. I said, what the fuck?
Really?
I was freaking, bro. I was like, well, I tried to. Okay, mate, you sure? Am I ready? Like,
yeah.
But I knew I was ready to go.
Yeah, okay.
But I said, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, mate, put you on. I was like, Fergo played fullback.
Was it in his office?
His office, yeah.
Yep.
And he's like, man, I'm putting you in. I said, what?
Right.
Yeah, I'm freaking right. I was like, oh. And then Fergie, the next week, he's like, bro, I want you to go fullback, eh? I was like, nah, cousin. Leave me on the wing for a bit, because we played Cody, Greg, Adam Reynolds, all them boy, Cookie and that at the first round, and they smashed us, bro. Like, Greg went through, scored the Grouse's try.
Yep.
And then I was on the wing just going, I'm sitting there frothing it because it's Greg, bro, you know?
Yeah.
But, and it just went from, he's like, yeah, I'm going to put you full back.
That's crazy to think you
Second game,
debuted
bro.
against Greg, against his side. That's like poet, like so
but they were
poetic.
pumping it up, They were just going, kid, they're coming up.
Yeah.
I said, bruh, I'm not Greg. Greg's done what he's done because he's a freak.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do my part now.
Do your own thing, 100%.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, no, I'm not anyone. Like, Greg didn't get me. I didn't get Greg there.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, we're not the same people. Like, we might a similarity. I understand the similarities, but like, Greg's a freak, man. Like, I'm just trying to do my bit,
Yeah.
Doing
It's
what
almost
I have to do, bro. But I just love footy, bro. I play the game how I love it.
Yeah. It's hard because like, I feel like if they said it once or twice, you'd be like, oh, I'm humbled and GI, this, whatever. If you think there's similarities, I'm really humbled.
Yeah.
I think it's like when they keep saying it.
Yeah, and
it's
that's
like, bruh, like
commentators. Oh, is that Latrell Mitchell? Bruh, come on,
mate. He's
like Greg's freak, bro. Like I was saying, Manny Madian once about it, and he said, "Cuz, don't worry what media say. Like,
yep.
You're your player because you got yourself here.
Yep.
And that's what I was just freaking because Greg's Greg.
He's a goat. He's a goat outside back for me.
Yeah.
I was coming through when he was coming through Q Cup, bro.
Freak, bro. I've seen some highlights there.
Mate, he was...
But he's had some good players come through that North Devils,
Yeah, they had... Oh, yeah, like Billy Slater come through there, Kronk. Like, this is when that was North Devils and we were the Clydesdales.
Yeah.
Bro, I can't express to people how incredible watching Greg Inglis was in that period.
Yeah.
He would genuinely just be like... Like, it was like watching... When you watch kids and there's that one gun that's just tearing teams apart. But he was doing that in Q Cup, bro. He was just incredible.
He would have been, 16? Not even
16, 17, skinny
Freak,
as,
bro. Yeah.
but he would just glide.
Fast,
it was honestly beautiful to watch. He would just glide, like something that you can't teach it. It's in his blood, like just the way he moved. I made my debut against him in Clydesdales versus North. So I was on the wing, he was at fullback. Scored 2 tries, but that's not a big deal. That's my claim. That's my. I'll say this every podcast. People that are listening, they're going to know. But I still got a chipped tooth from where he fended my face and missed the tackle. But anyway, okay. So you make your debut, and then the next week you go to fullback.
Yeah.
Was that
against Canberra?
What do you remember from your debut? What's something that you really were like stands out for you?
No, I just think just running on, and because I made this bet with my dad when I was young, and me and my brothers did, and he said, righto, I had a crack, and see how far you can take it now. And, and I got the opportunity, and that's what sort of was. All I thought about was all week is just looking at my dad and going, righto, I got ya. And I pointed at him straight away as soon as I run out. I said, I got ya.
Gotcha, brah.
And
he's sitting there like loving it.
Yeah, he's loving it, bro. And he froths it now. He's real modest with it because he says whenever we're having a beer at the pub, people come up. Obviously, you get the annoying 1 or 2 person, and then you go, boys, no footy. We don't talk footy here. We talk about. Whatever. Women, fucking,
like 100%.
I'll follow talk,
stuff.
bro,
Yeah.
And that's all he's about, man. He's not worried about footy. He loves, as long as we're happy in our lives, and he's happy. And man, it's just free because, like I said, I run out, and that was the best thing. And then obviously playing Greg and that, and Cody and all them boys, and it was a grouse bar. I just loved it, eh?
Just like it's like when you run out and you have that like bet with your dad, and like, but you remember like how instrumental he was to getting you there,
the struggles, bar.
100%. Like,
I'll tell you one story. When I made 16's Origin. And we borrowed my uncle's car, right? And I was like, because like Mum and Dad used to struggle with their cars and that.
Yeah.
And then got my uncle's car, and he's like a big noter, like all these cars, this and that, right? And we're driving, right? And then fucking the temperature gauge started going up. Pull over, right? I have a look.
Yeah.
Take the cap off.
Yeah. Oh,
and fill it back up, bit of water, and then we'll go again, and do the same thing, bro. And then pop the top off, no water in it, and then. Like I haven't told him it, but they got rid of the car now. But bro, we were getting puddled water, putting it in the filter. I was like, "Oh, this car's gonna blow up, bro." Right, all it was a rusty. The radiator cap wasn't holding the seal was broken.
Yeah.
So it was just letting out compression, and then I was just like, I'm not. And I was dead set like. Probably, half a game late to the trials to get into Origin.
Oh, I swear. Yeah, and it's because the car kept broken.
Because I said to him, I said, no, the car's broken. And like, we pulled up at Central Coast, dropped at my uncle's, and he took me all the way, my mum and dad and that. And then I sat on the bench, and I was thinking, I was like, Dad, and that's like, he's not gonna go on.
Yeah.
Went on, brah. And then as soon as I got the ball run through, scored 2 tries, and then they pulled me back off and said, no, you made it. And I was like,
how good is that?
Yeah, half a game, missed it. Got there.
Because that changed your life, that 16 side.
Bro, and I'm dead set.
So your uncle doesn't know that you fucking car.
Nah, see? Like, bro, puddled water, you're not meant to
just to get down there.
Yeah, just to get there. And then worry about the car later, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you never told him, but
nah.
That's so good.
But bro, lucky got rid of it, I tell you.
Bro, that's it's just incredible. Like the lengths you're putting muddy water in this car just to make it to Origin.
Yeah.
Because you weren't with the club at all.
Nah.
Like making that side changed your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you could have failed. You could have gone home and just been like, fuck it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you make rep sides so you get noticed a bit more. You know, it helps. It does help. It goes a long way in making them rep sides. And but when I sat there half a game thinking, fuck, I'm not gonna get in here.
Yeah.
And then got the opportunity. They put me on. I went boom, straight through, bro. I scored 2 trials, bro. And they pulled me off, and I was just like, "Fuck off!" I think I fucked up here.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And then we got off the game, and then obviously put the list up, and I was like, "Fuck,
how good is that?
Bro, it was all worth it." You know what I mean, bro?
That's like,
and that's what kicked off my career, bro.
It's like a lot of like city kids especially, they wouldn't know that struggle of like you're struggling so much, you got to borrow a car to get there, and it's like so shit that you got to put mud water in that just to get there.
Sad, like, bro, it was funny at the time, but it was like, fuck, I'm in a rush.
Yeah, and you might miss out on the team.
But then I was sitting there laughing because I was like, fuck, we just fucked this car. That's
fucking so good. Best. That's so good. Okay, so you make your debut, and then like obviously making your debut massive, but you finished with 14 tries and the hype. Were you ready for that? Like, do you think mentally you were ready for this crazy?
I didn't know what to expect, bro. To be honest, I just went through playing footy, enjoying it, and then obviously as I started getting more games into me, I played I think that whole season, all the games and everything, and I was just like, this is where I'm meant to be. You know what I mean? That's where I started to think, righto. And I recapped, at the end of the year, said, righto, what am I going to do next year? You know what I mean? Like, what is my goal for next year? It's to obviously, play fullback again. And then as soon as I went there, I said, because we got Michael Gordon over then. And they said, what do you reckon? I said, look, you just got to do what you got to do. I'll play anyway. I'll go to centre if you want me to.
Yep.
And that's for I thought, I said to Trent, I said, can I have a crack at centre? And he's like, yeah. I was just thinking that, you know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Like,
okay, yep.
And then I got to centre and I just didn't know. Like I was sort of just working out the little details,
timing,
because I'm the last. Like you think about it, the winger is going.
We just
off.
follow you.
Yeah. You have to follow me because I'm the last. And if Kiri and Boyd aren't doing their job by putting pressure on it, which takes away from me because I'm the last sort of line of defence where
Absolutely.
I'm going. Right, I've got to make this tackle, or I've got to let
your choice dictates everything.
That's what I mean, exactly. Because either it's a long ball to the winger, or it's a quick hands where the centers. And I used to hate when centers go through me, bro. And that's how competitive I was. Like, but if I knew if the ball was going into the line, I'd just go straight at the back. And that was the biggest thing Trent taught me at centre was your percentage rate of going at the back to your fullback goes up the longer the half goes into the line.
Yeah, okay.
And and that's where I started to think, right, my first, Matty King was mad because he was like, bro, what you got to do is, because a lot of centres go in first, and my dad's always said, go square and then, look in. Don't ball watch, boom, and then
get up.
By the time of it, by the end of it, Kingy was like, just look at a point on the ground where you can run straight and then stop and get your feet back under.
Yeah, don't even worry about what's going on. Just get to that point.
And as long as you can see Kiri and not get too far, because I used to get too far up in front of him where I couldn't see him out of my. Peripheral out of his
peripheral.
Yes,
I can't say it either, bro.
out of my vision anyway.
And
I go, no, I'm isolated now, and that's where people used to go, boom, straight across my face, straight through, someone through, score a try, and I'd be filthy.
Yep.
But then it sort of started to get to a point where I was like, well, I've got to be with Kiri now, be with him. And then longer they go into the line, I'm going at the back and winger will go get centre.
Yep.
And then if they pass early, I can go and get centre and go and ragdoll him and do what I got to do, you know what I mean? Which I love the more where I can, go and get him.
Yep.
And I think, the biggest, we go back to me and Will, me and Will had an awesome battle,
man. I love those battles, bro.
I loved it because, Will was the best centre, he was the Australian centre.
Yep.
And I said, that's where I want to be. I want to be Will Chambers in that position.
Yep.
And me and him just cracked, I just knew he was trying to get in my head. He's always been that person, competitor. And he just, he played the mind games. And I just said, I don't want none of that. I just want to play footy.
Yep.
So anytime you get the ball, I'll enjoy it.
I'm coming.
Bro, you know what I mean? And I always tell him, and got the origin stage where he's pushing me around. I was like, bro, so you're poking me now, bro. You're getting under my skin now.
Yeah.
And then I just, me and him, bro, I learned a lot playing against him than I've played against any centre.
Really?
Bro? And I appreciate the Willie, because me and him had a good yarn, at All Stars and all that, bro. And he's a good follow, bro.
100%.
I just want to play footy, be a competitor, and be the best. And that's what I want to do. Everyone wants to be that, bro, And
absolutely. And people forget, Will Chambers for many years was the best centre in the competition. And it was only because, you're partly responsible because of the battles that you had, in the sense of you came and took that throne from him. I know you're not going to sit there and say that, but that was the best centre in the game going against the up and coming centre. You know what I mean?
Bro. And I said, well, I want to be there.
Yep.
And the only way by getting there is going through, getting to him.
100%.
And that's how I think. If you're young, that's how you got to think.
Absolutely, you got to think like
otherwise,
that.
If you don't want to be the best in your position, then what are you playing footy for?
It's a pro athlete's mindset. Yeah, a lot of people don't.
So then I went back to we go back to me started at fullback. Obviously went to centre, and obviously come to this year, and where I was like, well, I want to play fullback. I can't do it at the Roosters because Teddy's a freak. You know. And I said, well, I want to challenge myself because we won 2 comps, and there was nothing sort of else I could chase. 3-peat would have been the grouse, right? But that's not what I wanted in my head. I wanted to be a bit different. I'm always been trying to chase something that I want, and you get bored with stuff, like you do. Like the longer you do it, the bored, you just know what you got to do. But
it's an athlete's mindset.
Yeah, and I just wanted to go and be challenged and play fullback, and all this, drama went on with the contract saga, and I understand, it is what it is. It happened how it happened, and I wish it didn't.
Yep.
But in a sense where it's I think it happened for a reason. That's how I think.
Yep.
Shit happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
And, bro, I landed the Grouser spot, playing fullback, and then I just started hitting my straps, obviously, and then, boom, something happens again, injury. And like I said, I think that slowed me up and goes, righto, reassess, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And that's how I've been sort of thinking now, and that's why I've been a bit more motivated. Like anyone that knows me, bro,
Yeah.
like knows I don't train,
Yeah.
Like I hate it. Like I would not, you wouldn't see me touching a weight if I didn't have to.
Didn't have to. No, I'm the same,
what I mean, bro. Like
yeah.
I'm just like, I'd just be like
Chilling.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like you kick back.
Yep.
Like my weights would be like lifting a rod or
Yep.
fishing or something. You know what I mean, bro? Like
100%,
or
yep.
lifting something at the farm or something. You know what
Yep.
I mean? Like logs or whatever. And that's me. That's
Yep.
just that everyday thing that I go by. And
Yep.
but like since I've done my injury, I've just woken up sort of a bit. As I'm getting older and just
Yep.
go right. Well, this is where I need to be at to
Yep.
be fit for next year. And it sort of made me a bit more hungrier now. Being injured.
Yeah,
And obviously getting it right now.
It's like a new challenge for you.
Yeah, and it's grouse, bro,
Yeah.
because you got to challenge yourself. Otherwise, you get bored with it.
100%.
Footy's just fucking.
It's just the same old
It's,
thing.
it's torture. And
Yeah.
like people think, it's mad. It's not even a job. It's fucking.
It's a
stick
job.
it up your ass.
Right, it's a
bro,
job.
you know what I mean?
It's a job. Come there for a week. It's definitely a job.
I understand like 9 to whatever, but we pretty much do them hours. You know what I mean? 9
Yep.
to 5, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It's such a tough thing. I think
I'm a proud Indigenous man, bro. So right, I stand up for what I believe in.
Yep.
And I just think, because I come out and said I don't, me and Code said we don't speak the national anthem.
Yep.
And and then going and playing that game sort of highlighted. Fuck.
Just
You know
made
what I mean?
things worse.
And,
Yeah.
And it put me in the spotlight, like even bigger.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
people going, this fella's boycotting the anthem. I said, you got to understand where I'm coming from, where my people are.
Yep.
That song does not represent us one bit. And you think, by, like some of the lyrics in that thing are just like not even on point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's girt by sea. Understand you come from sea.
Yeah.
From, overseas, Europeans, whatever, where you
Yep.
come from, and then and saying like the land's free, no one's been on it. So where are we? Where were we? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And that's how I used to think, bro. Because I go, well, if you're gonna say we're not, no one was here when you discovered it, then where was we? Like,
Yeah.
how are we indigenous to this land if we wasn't here?
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean, bro? Like,
100%. Like it's from a white Aussie's perspective, and I think a lot of people will feel the same way. It's so hard because like you have this lived experience and history and culture, and I have this lived experience, and so like when I sing the national anthem, I'm not thinking of your experience. I'm thinking of my experience.
yeah, and that's fair enough. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying anyone don't sing the national.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't sing it because it doesn't represent me. If it represents you, fair enough.
That's what I was going to say. I was
Yeah,
going to
right.
say like, and that's where I think a lot of people don't actually take a second to put themselves in your shoes and go. It tears me up inside because I sit there and go, all right, I'm going to sit back and I think about it all the time because I'm mates with you, walks,
Yeah.
like, I love you boys. And I'm like, all right, how would I feel if my grandparents were treated the way your grandparents were? I would be bitter and hurt. Like, absolutely would be bitter, hurt, and I would feel like change needs to be made. But then there's another side of me that's like, fuck, I love this country. It's given me so much. And so it tears me apart. So, like, I totally get where you guys are coming from. Totally get it.
But like, like people don't understand. Like my grandfathers had to wear dog tag just to be able to go into town and work.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it wasn't allowed in pubs. It wasn't allowed to bar.
Just your grandfather. It's not that long ago.
Two generations, bro.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah, and so
dog tag just to go from Perth Fleet mission, get signed like a permission slip to say I'm going to work to get money for this.
Yep.
But when they put us on missions, like they didn't give us like food rations. We had to say you butter now.
Yep.
They used to give us fat. Like we used to have to use fat. Fuck. You know what I mean? Just to butter whatever damper, whatever to make. And they put us on missions to get away. Segregate us away from the town.
Yep.
And when they do that, and then you go and a blackfellow needs to provide for his family, so he goes and says to the past or the master that's looking after the mission and go, right, I want to work.
Yeah.
But you go and work for what, 50 cents? Not even that. Like 50 cents would be massive back in the day.
Yeah, 100%. You're still a second class citizen. Not even a
yeah,
citizen.
So not even, but we went classes, four and four.
I know.
That's so we're under that. That's and it's we're not even in the Constitution still, bro. I feel as though like I understand, like fuck, we're here, bro. You can't get rid of us. They try genocide and all this stuff, but we're too powerful, cuz, and that's what I mean. Why can't we just come together now and be like,
that's what I mean.
Be united, cuz. That's what I mean. And I don't understand why people like get real angry and wild at me because I come out and say stuff. Like even Adam Goods come out. And it's mad because now that I've sort of come out on my platform and Adam Goods has done it on the field, and I feel like a lot of black fellas are more proud now.
100%.
And they can come out, be comfortable in their skin, and go, yeah, I'm a black fella. This is what I stand by. Are you going to come with us? I respect you, but you need to, respect me also,
Oh, absolutely. Like it's, as I said, I think a lot of people, if they just like I think most people, like the silent majority, are like, I just want everyone to be happy.
Yeah.
I want your people to get the same chances that I get, and I'm sure that you're sitting there going, we just want to be happy. And so, like, I think a lot of Aussies, they kind of, when you say like, oh, this is how my people were treated, they immediately get defensive because they think you're having a crack at me.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, fuck off. But you're not talking about them.
Nah.
You're just talking about the system that exists right now, and like, let's move forward together.
Yeah.
So, bro, it's as I said, as a proud Aussie, it's like, it tears me apart because I hate seeing the boys hurting, but I also really proud of this country. And
bro, I love this country.
Yeah.
I love it. This is home, bro, for all of us.
It's a grouse country.
Bro,
So
anyone that comes here, everyone that lives overseas, I guarantee will say, I want to go to Australia. That's my first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
Bro, it's the grouse here. Like, I don't even want to travel anywhere else until I explore where I'm from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how. And I've been overseas, London, England, France, whatever.
Yeah.
And I just not for me. You know what I mean? Like I understand like where the culture is based. You know, for people that And then I love like Big Sammy, all those birds.
Big Sammy.
Bro, they love blackfellas. They're the best. They're the best, bro.
Yeah.
And you go and. I just want to explore what we have here.
It's beautiful.
People in it, bro. You go to country towns and people just love, but there's, you get the odd fucking idiot. It's everywhere you go, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we just got to educate people.
But that's it.
Like, just got to educate
learn,
people.
but
and just talk.
And just talk about it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, being racist just scars, it's just opening up old scars of my people, you know what I mean, bro? It's not hurting me, it's hurting, people that in my life, involved, mum and dad, that have already lived the life before. My nan's white, and she got with my dad, my pop, that was indigenous, and this is my mum, this is not long ago. And, that's the 50s, this is before, I think it was only, honestly the 60s before we could even vote as blackfellas. And these two are together, and I don't know how, my nan's that strong, bro, like powerful woman. Yeah. And like my pop and that were going through, like, why he's having, like even our family, bro, we haven't, like my nan's, like mobile, like they're full, like fucking rednecks.
Yeah.
Was.
Yeah.
But now they're
like, because they understand
it now, and
listen.
they can't get rid of us now because we're fucking in the family. There's black grandchildren. Yeah. It is what it is now, and we've all moved on, and that's how it is, bro. Like my mum's pop, granddad and grandma, obviously passed away now, but bro, they were like, they didn't understand why my nan went with a black fella, like, because that's how it was, bro. It's like, it's white's got to be white, black's got to be black.
Which is so.
That's how it was, bro.
Sad,
but my nan and my pop defied that, you know what I mean? Which was mad. Because 100%. Now my mum, my aunties, my uncles, they're all powerful people now, you know what I mean? Like, they understand who they are. Yeah. They're real proud, and they had to be strong, bro, because I don't know how my nan did it, and my pop.
Bro, neither, like, honestly.
I don't know how my pop did it, to be honest, because he, like, being my nan, understand, like, the white society being in that. Yeah. Easier, understand, because there's a lot of people that understand because they got the same background, but seeing my pop, seeing with this white woman walking around having kids to it, they're like, fuck that. That's not right.
Speaking negatively about him as well, and their kids and that.
Having kids, that animal, talk, like, that's how the people just talk about, and that's what I've been told in my stories. My dad's passed down, mum's told me, like, it's just fucked. Like,
it's, as I said, bro, it's one of those things where, like, if you just take a step back and imagine your grandparents being treated like that, you'll get a bit of an understanding of, like, how could they, like, this is going to hurt for a few more generations, and we need to find a way to come together.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's mad now, the platform that which I'm trying to set me, Cody, and the boys, where it's just speak out, be powerful. Even our women now, bro, like, are really leading the way. Yep. With, the footy, or not even that, like, just, speaking in public about, who they are, being proud, obviously going to, rallies and talking up, and that's what's, our women are is Mother Earth. That's why we, we get our thing up. But women are, where we come from, us men, us kids, that's women that reproduce everything, and they give back, but it's real powerful, bro, because, now they're talking about what their scars and opening up about it, which which I want to kill the rate. Like, Jolly Thompson's mad with the mental health stuff, right? And but I think it's just this year that we got put to the highest suicide rate in the world, Indigenous people. It's
crazy.
And that's fucked.
That's so bad. I just, again, like, as a white fella, like, I'll never understand what you've experienced. All I can try to do is just, like, listen, empathize, and just be a good bloke, like, that's whatever I can.
And that's, I love anyone. Don't give a multicultural, bro. Yeah. Don't care what colour you are. Let's just
have a yarn,
bro. This is in country. Let's enjoy it together.
100%, bro.
Bro.
Okay, so you make your debut. You're killing it. 2017. is so 2017. You made your Origin debut 2017, 2019, 18. How was that feeling when you got the call up for the?
Yeah, I think I was in Taree and Freddie rang me and he was like, "Yeah, mate, I'm putting you in." I was like, "Oh, fuck."
Oh, you thought he was G'ing up?
Yeah, I thought he was G'ing up, right?
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, I didn't even know it was Freddie." I was like, "Fuck," I was freaking out.
Yeah.
I was like, "Nah, you sure? You sure?" Like, you know, I was saying things like what I said to Trent. I said, "Am I ready?" You reckon?
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm not picking you for no reason." I said, "Sweet."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Right, well, this is sort of, you know, let's check this off my list. Let's go and have a crack." And bro, I ran out in Melbourne.
Crazy.
I'll just like
when crowds still existed, bro.
Pumping and like that was Melbourne. I think MCG.
Yeah.
And, like that was still a bit away from the field, but you could still hear just like pumping on you, right? And then as soon as we got to that game, and then I scored a try, I was freaking, bro. I was like, I'm here now, you know.
Yeah.
But man, me, Willie, like I said, we come
that
back
was
to
your
me
first
scruffling again. And I was like, fuck.
So did you know he was going to be like
Facing me
in like going into that game? Did you know that was going to be a battle there?
Nah.
Okay,
So
but that's where it was created. Yeah.
So, that's where it started.
But that's what Origin's about,
but
bro.
he was just like grabbing me around. I was like, "Oh, bro, you want to settle down?" You know, obviously, being a young fella and coming in, you got to be a big like you're an old fella. You got to go right. Let's go.
100%. You know what's funny is that I was in his under-19s Queensland side.
Yeah.
And there was a massive punch on, but he was exactly the same then as he was. Like in Origin, in the sense that like if you're a blue, he's coming at you. And there's a video you can go on YouTube. He's feeding a big second row, bro. He's got a headgear on and he's feeding him. It's mad. And so when I saw your battle, I just thought this is perfect because it's two blokes. They're not taking a backward step. And so you played really well that game. You guys obviously won the series. Like, what was it? And you were a huge reason why you won the series. You were that X factor that New South Wales, like, you know, desperately needed after so many years. Blah blah blah. What was that feeling like for you? You know, you win your first series and you play some of the best, you know, footy that you've played.
Yeah, it was surreal. Like I didn't know what to feel. You know, I was still freaking out on the call.
Yeah.
And then I just thought back to my debut where I was like, wow, this is going to be, you know, obviously another step.
Yeah.
And then Origin's another step. Where am I going to go next, you know?
Yeah.
And then winning them was freak. Like, it was mad. Like,
yeah.
And then having to piss up with the boys, the best, bro. Grouse.
Yeah.
And then, bro, I was just, like, when I think about it now, I was like, wow, you know.
It buzzes you out a bit.
Yeah, it's mad.
But when you're in it, it's just happening.
It motivates you thinking about it, you know. Like, and it goes, right, I want to be back there playing for New South Wales and representing again, you know what I mean? That's how... I had a bit of bias against it where I was like, nah, I don't want to play because I got jobs, hooking, you know, kicking stones. And that's how I was.
Any young fella does. You get dropped, you get pissed off. That happens.
Let's go. Like I said, like me and Freddie had a yarn, I don't know, a couple of weeks back about the footy. And, you know, we could see where my injury was at. And, you know, it was good. Like, it was good to just have that yarn, get that barrier, knock that barrier down, you know what I mean? Where I was like, I don't want to talk to this fella no more.
Yeah.
This and that. When I was like, nah, it's all right. Look.
So let's move past this.
Yeah, let's get past. I don't like holding grudges, bro. I don't do it.
Yep.
I hate it because it just makes your life, you know...
Yeah, just
miserable, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
And it was good yarn. And said, right, well, let's get ready. And then, you know, if I'm ready next year, I'm ready to go for you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready to go. Like, I just want to keep playing footy as long as I can, you know, and enjoying it. That's what I want to do. That's my goal now.
So it's like a double-edged sword because you're so competitive. Getting dropped from a side, it stings you.
Yeah.
And so, of course, you're going to kick stones for a bit. Yeah. And then you just realise, you know what, let's move past. I love playing for the state. I love New South Wales. I want to move past this.
Yeah, exactly. And when I got, like, said like that next game, if I would have played that next game, I'm telling you, I wouldn't have been the same as Ali.
Yeah.
But I understand, like, you gotta, if you're there, that's a cutthroat. Like, if you're not performing, see you later. Let's go, you know. And I understand I wasn't performing.
Yep.
See you later, you know. And fair enough.
Yep.
But like I said, I'll be back. You know?
Now it's about fighting your way back in the side.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of good players come through, like good centers, like real good centers.
Have you enjoyed watching guys like Crichton and that coming through?
Yeah, it's been Matt, bro. He's a freak. It's a fucking gun.
Yeah.
But I like how he's true athletic, bro. He's only going to be a grouse when he gets a bit older.
100%, bro.
As soon as he finds a way, like, of how he is, you know.
Yep.
Performing each week and
sort
of changing it up because, you know, everyone watches video, bro. And you got to change it up.
Yeah, the second year's always harder than the first year, bro. 100%.
Yeah. So you don't want to get that second year syndrome where you're going, you know. But you got to turn it on, bro, and go again. And that's what. If he's watching this, that's a bit of advice I'd give him. You know?
Yeah, 100%. Especially with all the hype that he's received. Yeah. Okay, so now, just speaking about Origin, you've genuinely got a fire in your belly to put that Blues jersey back on.
Yeah, I'm like I said, first steps getting back on the field, playing for South, and then getting back in that jersey and having a crack again. Because there's nothing better than it. Honestly, it's mad. Like playing for Australia as the Mickey, I loved it.
Yep.
That's the pinnacle for me. But like the competitiveness for me is, you know, that Origin, you're playing
Yeah.
Queensland, and you're just giving it to
Fucking
them. Like me and
fuck
Gay,
is-
I
fuck is
always
rough.
scruff gags around now
Yeah.
with teammates, you know.
Yeah,
We always
yeah.
talk about have a laugh, bro, but fuck, it's funny.
So what's something you remember, like, you know, as I said, like your battle with Chambers, it's that Origin battle that we love as Origin fans. What's something that you remember, you know, in the battle, or did you ended up really looking forward to it? Like you'd be like, fuck yeah, I can't wait to.
Yeah, well, first game didn't expect it because
Yep.
I didn't know what he was gonna do, and I was like, I'll let him have a crack here, and see
Yeah.
how he goes. So he's pushing around, I get up trying to play ball, still pushing.
trying to get in your head.
Yeah, you know, and I was just laughing, bro, laughing.
Yeah.
And that's all I could do because it was just mad being
Yeah.
there. And you know, the second game come around, I was like, come on then, let's go. You know,
Yeah.
I'm ready for you. And then, fuck, bro, it was funny.
That's fucking.
And that's all I remember. That's probably my highlight of like footy going through the last couple of years.
Is
me
the
and Willie,
battle with Willie
and
Chambers.
I'm still proud of like how we went against it because it's footy. That's what footy do. You know,
100%.
Footy players just go at it and play. Right, it was mad because I was just like, this follows the grouse.
Yep.
I was like, I want to be the grouse. You know.
Yep, 100%, but 100%. Okay, so you win that first series, and then you win your first comp, 2018.
Yeah, that was freaky, bro.
Incredible
That was
year.
the best. I was like, yeah.
Fuck, like what's that like? You know, you're going in your first grand final. You would have been like 21, 22 at this stage.
I was 20. Yeah, I was 20.
20.
Yeah.
Far out, so young, bro. So 20 years old,
Yeah.
you're about to win your first comp. What was the feeling like? Obviously, Cooper Cronk had his shoulder that year.
Yeah.
What was the talk inside the camp? Like, you know,
Well, we can talk about it now, but when we were going through it, it was like, nah, Coop's ruled out. Like, he's
Yep.
ruled out. Like, we didn't say nothing. We wasn't allowed to comment on it.
Yep.
And that's what the club said. You don't know, not to comment on anything about Cooper Cronk. And
Yep.
we were like, sweet, no worries. And then, because he was just getting himself fixed up and see what he could do. And they must have did some fucking massaging or whatever,
Wow.
bro.
So
But he was running around like this, and I was like, this fella's going to
No
be
way.
promoted, bro. And
Yep.
what was good, because Luke Keary took a lot of rain and fucking killed it. That's
Yep.
why I got Clive Church.
Yeah.
It was a grouse, bro, because
Incredible.
you could see like it took him to another level where he's like, well, I can actually make an impact without Cooper actually being there, you know. And
Yep.
I think that's what Kieran needs to understand in himself, that he can be that player.
Yep.
And he is that player, but he
Yep.
just got to understand he can do that every week
Yep.
by being him, you know. And by him doing that was, you know, awesome because Coop couldn't tackle.
Yep.
He had Nelson run at him,
Oh, bro.
you know, and he's just like,
So, help me, boy.
Yeah.
Who would
No.
have been Orbo?
no, yeah, Orbo and it was Joey. Joey was
Joey Manu.
Joey took a lot of tackles
Yep.
for him, you know, which was mad.
Yeah.
It was grouse.
He had a
to
good
see.
series that series,
Yeah,
Joe Manu. So, yeah, okay, so you win the game. What's that feeling like?
Bro,
there?
I just went straight to because Two's my boy. And
Yeah.
I just went, yes, bro, this is hectic. Because he
Yeah.
already won one before, and I just knew. I was like, bah. And then, like, when we're singing the song, rings on and that, bro, I could not. I was like hyperventilating, bro.
Oh, really?
I was so excited. But I couldn't breathe properly. I couldn't even sing. I was just trying, like, catch my breath and
Yeah.
sing the song. But yeah, and then I had obviously my daughter, and I had her there. It was grouse, bro. I got
Yeah.
a little photo with her, and bro, fucking the best thing ever. It's mad to be able to share that with her, and that's
Yeah.
where now I've had another one where I want to go and win the comp with South now
Yeah.
and go and share that with her too.
That
you
would be
know?
hectic, bro.
Which is my goal, bro, because I want my kids to look up to me and go, oh, my dad's, you know, is a proud man, looks after himself. Oh,
Yeah.
look, like, looked out for himself, and he was setting, you know, a pathway for a younger generation, and that's where my kids are. I want them to go, right, well, this is my dad, but I'm not going to pressure them to be anything they don't want to be. I want them to excel in whatever they want to do, and
Yep.
you know, if they want to be farmers, but to be the best farmers.
Yep. Yep,
mad.
absolutely.
You know what I mean, bro?
Yep.
That's how I think. Like,
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Next year rolls around, and like, you know, you basically you're looking red hot. Like, what was the feeling during that year of the like? Did you feel like surely not? We couldn't be this not lucky, but like to repeat, or were you like, no, we can fucking do this?
No, well, the confidence was from that. You know, obviously everyone wants to be champs. You know,
Yeah, fucking oath.
and you know, we went through that year. We beat Melbourne, and they were the champs. But for, you know, they're always in the grand. They've been in the last, you know, 5 or 6, the last 10. I don't know, 10 years or whatever. Anyways.
Yep.
And we've knocked them off. We're like, these fellas are beatable, you know. And I think everyone, like, every team goes, oh, Melbourne's still the grouse, you know. Craig Bellamy knows what he's doing. Cameron Smith's, you know, done what he's done for so long because of the player he is and who he's been coached by in the system. And I said, these fellas are beatable, man. And I started thinking that when we started beating them, like in the, you know, round games, and you know, we go 1 or 2, and you start getting kinks in them, and you start working out what their weaknesses are. And I think, like, I've learned a lot playing against them bigger teams, which you do in the bigger games, you know, what their weaknesses are. And as soon as you can work them out, the quicker and the better it is for your team, because, you know, if you kick pressuring or tackling and dragging them back, they hate it. You know, and it's like, well, Foxy wants to be on the front foot, but if he's getting dragged back 20 metres...
Doesn't like it.
You know, bro, like he's not starting sets.
Yeah.
You know, puts Cameron Smith in a vulnerable position.
Yep.
And then they just kick, you know, and that's all. And then boys are catching. Teddy's doing his thing. Boom.
Yep.
And then that's how we started thinking. And going into that second year, we were just like, boys, we can do this again. And then we went through a game. I think we lost like a few games early again, and then.
Yeah, you started off not that great.
Like Roosters always do that, bro. Like they always play fucking, work themselves out, work out players, combinations, snap for the year, and then play grouse semi-final time,
Yep.
And that's how it is.
And so, you go into that grand final. Raiders,
Oh, yeah.
It's like that. All this
actually
momentum.
mad because, the Raiders fans are like mad. Like when you go down and play, just like the big clap and that, you're sitting there, and I just love smiling at them because they hate it.
Yeah,
it's the grouse because they're all competitive.
Yeah, you love it, 100%. Yeah, fucking know.
And you go down there and beat them, bro. It's the best. Like, I've only beat them once, and I've played for nearly 4 years now.
Oh, really?
Twice we played down there. Oh, bro.
So when the game happens and then the 6 again thing happens.
Oh,
being on the field, what was that?
I didn't even know, bro. I was just watching watching the clock. Come on, let's win this. And then didn't even think anything of it. And then I seen like the obvious replay, and everyone was carrying on,
blowing up about it.
Like, oh, what we won? The game's over now.
Yeah, nothing to do about it. Okay, so you guys get a roll on. Boyd Gordner takes a great run. Kiri jumps out.
Yeah.
Walk us through that whole play.
I didn't even expect, because obviously, like, we was talking to about Boydie earlier, and that's the stuff he does. Like, he'll take that little, that real hard carry. Yep. He'll get a quick play to ball 9 times out of 10.
Yep.
And then Kiri just, like, instinctively, obviously jumped out, looked right, and nothing, and just went, and because he just knew I would be there for him.
Yep.
And then, that's where I was like, fuck, what am I going to do with it now?
I
suppose. Got tackled legs, and then I must have been who went, because Leilu was out late, and I seen him, and I said, as soon as I seen him out late, I said, Kiri, hurry up.
Yeah.
And then Rapana,
so you were calling it. So you knew BJ was out. You were calling Kiri.
Yeah, Kiri seen it as well. Like we didn't have and then he just went boom, and then I think Rapana took me legs.
Yeah.
And then Caesar was on the wing, and he turned out, and I was like, don't turn out, cuz. You know what I mean? Like, because by the time he turned out, he had to turn back to me, and by the time he's done that, I had him, and I went, Toops, and later, Teddy, try,
Did you ever hesitate? Were you always going to, not like you didn't have it pre-planned, but like were you like nervous?
I didn't even think, bro.
Didn't even think, just
about
like,
it.
boom.
I was just like I said, I just looked at body language. I went Caesar, turned out, turned back in, and by the time you can't go back out.
Yeah, no. Especially
by
when
the time
you
it was just
in.
like that.
Yep.
Didn't think of it. Toops was already gone. I was laying on the ground, and I was just like, Kiri, Kiri.
And so you see Toops go down, Tedesco goes over.
Yeah.
What are you just like
I'm just sitting there going, wow, that was mad.
Yeah.
Because there was a play before where Leilua passed it forward, I think, and I just got him.
Yeah.
I just grabbed him, fingertips and all, dragged his shirt.
Yeah.
And he threw it forward, and Rapana, it would have been a try if he threw it back. Try. And they would have won the game, I reckon. That was it. And then we went that set through, and then that was it. Boom.
Oh man, what an incredible that moment. And so it goes over, and you've done a repeat. What was more sweet, the first one or the second one? Second year again.
Yeah, first one loved, obviously, but second one was more I was just like, wow, I actually did that. The first one was surreal, oh fuck, did that actually happen? But now it's like 2, bro, in a row, and I was like,
far out. Bro.
Yeah.
And so so that happens, everything like that. Now, so basically what happened with the contract, and you tell me, if this is wrong. So you still had a year to go on your contract.
Yeah.
They wanted to renegotiate. You said to them, I just want to see what else is out there value-wise.
Well, I could negotiate because I have 1 more year, right? And then when at the end of that year, you get to
November 1st, you can talk
negotiate
to other clubs.
and talk. And I said to Trent, I said, mate, look, I just want to go explore what I got to explore. And they had the contract they said there, and I said, yep. And I understand it's not going to be there. If I go 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the track, they want to spend it. Yeah, fair enough. Go and do. I said that. Go and do it. But I needed to challenge myself. I said to him, and that's all it was. Me and Trent had real good yarns, man. He was real. He was good in them ways, where he was like, but mate, we can't wait for you. I said, mate, you got to do what you got to do. You're the coach.
Yep.
You got to put what's best for the team. I said, I got to do what's best for myself. I've done what I've done with you. We've done what we've done together. I said, I need a challenge now, and that's where I was like, I can't play fullback here.
Yeah, because Teddy's there.
Centre was I could be this, centre, keep going. I can go back to centre. There's no, I've got plenty of time to go back to centre.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go and see if I could be that fullback. That you know, I think I can be, you know what I mean? Which is pretty exciting, and that's what I mean. I wanted the challenge.
Yeah. And so was it kind of more like, was Trent like, okay, I understand, and you were like, okay, I understand. It was more like that, but the media kind of made it out like it was this
and
big,
make it out like it was, you know, that we're fighting and
Yep.
you know, and this and that, and I didn't know what was going on. Like I was just my first time ever negotiating anything, and
Yep.
like I was, just a country kid, bro, just trying to fucking get by, you know.
Yeah, and play footy and be happy.
I've never been in this like situation where there's money getting thrown around like this much money, you know. And I was just freaking out because I was just like, well, can I, you know, is money gonna be everything, or can I, you know, can I get that at, you know, the end of my career, or you know what I mean? Like I want to challenge myself now, and do what I can, get the best out of myself with my footy and have fun with it while I can. Because you never, like I said, I got injury. You never know, bro. You know what I mean? So with that, I just said, "Oh, gotta go, see what's going on." And you know, I was when I went to the Cowboys, like I was already going up there, see, because my mate, like my brother Bernard, that's what fellow I always, you know, I hung around, and he was only like younger fella, like going through like 20s and that. And me and him like had kids sort of at the same time, so we sort of connected real mad. But and then went from there. And I was already up. I was going to Cairns, and then like the manager I had was like, "Oh, you want to stop in and see what Cowboys got to say?" And had a yarn to Greenie and that, and they were good blokes, man. And I appreciated the yarn, and it was good to be like go to Townsville. You know, instead of going there for footy, it was good just to be up there.
Yeah, 100%. It's actually a decent place. I like Townsville.
Grouse, bro. Fuck, it was hot, I'll tell you. Like fuck, I'd be shredded up here, cuz I should have went up there. You know?
I should have come up with a 6-pack bar.
But like the stuff that like Josh Maguire, I love Joshy because he's the best, bro. Like people see it different because it's footy, bro. He's competitive, but people don't see the fella he's off field, and it's funny because he's the man, bro. They come out, he's a real gentleman too. Like he took me up there and took me out hunting with the boy like Geordie McLean and all them fellas, and bro, I loved it. We caught a couple of pigs, and bro, I was like, do I actually want to move up here for the lifestyle or footy? You know what I mean? Like, and like the life they live is the life I love. You know what I mean? Like, it's grouse, bro. Because you know, Geordie, I think, has got about a couple of acres, and he just goes and does what he's got to do. And but imagine having that and being in a bubble, like you wouldn't even think you're in a bubble, like the acreage you have. You know what I mean?
That's so true. That's so true.
But and it comes back to, you know, and I was already going to Cairns anyway, and had a yarn, this and that, and then, you know, media took off with it again, and I was just like, well, who's telling these fellas that I'm up here? For starters. And you can't really pinpoint it down to anyone. To say leaking.
But you just know that someone's doing something wrong. Like you don't want this shit everywhere in the paper.
Nah, because I don't need it to be, and I don't want, you know, burn on my bridges at Roosters when, you know, I already told them, you know, our situation. And I've loved the club. I've done a lot with them. They've done a lot for me. But I'm the player I am because of me. You know, they didn't, like, people say, "Oh, the Roosters made Latrell." I said no. And Trent will say the same thing. Like, Latrell's the player he is because of, you know, the way he is as a person, how he loves the game. And Trent is just give me the tools to go, oh, you could tidy this up, you could be better here. You know, and that's what coaches do. They don't make you to be a player, you know what I mean? They make you to be a better player in the situations where they can. That's why they're a coach.
That's
you
a
know?
coach. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
like,
they're there to show you certain things.
So what do you
improve.
reckon here on this pass? Or I go, right, mate, I think I can fix that up, you know what I mean? And that's all it's about. People think, oh, no, you got to be a robot, and coaches just want you going this and that. Some coaches do, but I don't. You know, Trent wants you to play footy. Wayne wants us to, but he just wants us to throw it around, you know? We're playing more games than not at training, you know? And he just wants us to, you know, obviously execute our plays and be the best team, you know, and play together, and that's how Wayne coaches, you know? He's not telling me how to be the player I am, but he's teaching me, right, when you're passing and it doesn't go the way you want it, what do you got to fix up? And that's gives you the tools, and then that's how it is.
Okay, so how close, like, there's a lot of talk about the Tigers. Was that ever a
close I had a yarn to Michael Maguire. So come up the Taree, had a yarn. It's good, bro. He's a good bloke. Like, I didn't think, like, you know, you see all the TV stuff and all the media, and that's what media do, but they run with it, but he come up, and I appreciate him coming up. Like, he took his time out of his day, and I said, right, I'll come have a yarn and see you out the offer. And it was big, like big money. Like, we're talking big money. And I just said, if I go there, to myself, I said, if I go there, am I going to be happy? Am I going to be the player I want to be? But people aren't going to see, you know, what I want to be. You know, they're going to see, oh, he's on overmill. He's not playing over, you know, for that $1 million spot. You know, he's not being the player he is. And that's where I was like, I don't need that yet. I don't need that pressure of the money sort of side. And I went, right, Souths are keen. I'll take a pay cut. and go and play with them and go and challenge myself and play with some, grouse play, like some elite player. Because, they had Benji now, mad, like, they had good players, but they didn't have, like, that foundation, I guess.
Yeah,
in a way
I mean, they're still building.
Yeah,
they're
and
still building.
they're going to be the good, but they played fucking good this year. It was grouse to see.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have, like they didn't have the...
They're not in the
Cody
same...
Walkers.
Yeah, exactly. Not in the same position as Rabbitohs are.
Adam Reynolds.
Yeah.
The boys that have played together, they've all played together for years and years and years. Them three in that spine have played together for 4 or 5 years already. And then, Benji's in and out. Luke Brooks is in and out. Like, they just couldn't find that
balance.
That balance. And that was, where I was like, nah, I can't go there yet. Like, if there's opportunity there, maybe. Like, later on, wherever. But where I'm at now, I'm happy, bro. Because South is the grass. The people I meet everywhere, like, South, they either go for another team or South's their second team, you know what I mean? And that's what culture of South, bro, is matters.
Yeah, the club has, like, got such a rich history. And I guess, as well, for people that, like, are listening, if a guy like yourself goes to the Tigers, you're the guy, like, if
marquee, bro,
everything happens, it's your fault.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And that's why I didn't need that.
And whereas you want to be happy and enjoy yourself as well. You were 22 when you were talking about that contract, about 22?
21, 22.
So, yeah, like, whereas you were thinking, look, like, I really respect Cody Walker, I respect Rabbitohs, everything like that. I'm going to go here first and just see how we go.
We've had good rivalries against South, And I said I want to be, I'll go and be a part of that. Yeah. I know, like, it's nothing to, like, flick dirt at the Roosters, rub salt in the wound because I went there. It wasn't about that.
Yeah,
it wasn't even about that. It was not to burn any bridges or nothing, And it was just about me being happy, me being able to play the best footy I can, and it was Wayne Bennett. I want to be under Wayne Bennett.
So what was it that Wayne said to you that really was like, you know what?
I don't think he said anything. It was just because I went to Russell's property and he lives the same life that I love too, and we always have good yarns about cattle and all this and that, and like, that's what swayed me. I think Wayne was pretty sweet. He's like, I reckon
he knew that, take it to the farm and that. Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I was signing
get the contract.
Nah, but like, just like they get it, and that was mad. Like, the best thing. Like, Roosters, Sydney based.
Yeah.
And like everyone in amongst it, like city based, and I didn't really connect with some people that, didn't love the lifestyle I loved. You know? I get the partying and going to Vegas and all that. I didn't like going to Vegas and not being with the boys wasn't that. I wanted to be with the boys as much, better, more than anyone in the team. But it just wasn't my scene going all the way over there to party.
You're a country lad.
Bro, and I go home now, bro, and I still love it. People go, why do you come home? So you don't understand. You don't understand, What I mean? Like, everything I have here, like, I reckon, like, half my clothes are in Taree.
Oh, really? You just love the country.
I mean, bro?
Yeah, 100%. It's home. It's home.
But, like, people don't understand. Like, if they want to come and I'll show them what I do, then they'll fall in love with it too, you know what I mean? It's just a different perspective of life that you're going to live, because you're in the city, you're full-time, all the time. People running around, traffic's mad. But I'm up there, no traffic. There's no one around for hundreds of metres unless you're downtown. Got the beaches to yourself. There's about, you got pick of the beaches. Like, why wouldn't you want to be isolated, bro?
People like different things.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I didn't like the Vegas trip. I would have went and maybe spent, 10, 15 grand, and then I could have spent 10, 15 grand on my farm, you know what I mean, bro? Like, that's how I used to think. I'll just go, right, I love the boys, and I want them to go enjoy that because they deserve it, because they played a grouse year, 2 years, but I said, that's not me. And I would have, like, sometimes I think to myself, I would have loved if some of the boys would have come and experienced what I love. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's even like when we at the Dragons, we went to Vegas. Some boys just didn't go because it's not their thing.
Yeah.
And the players, some people try to think like the players sitting there going, "Oh, I can't believe he didn't come." Like, most boys are like, "Nah, I get it. Like, he loves the country."
Yeah,
like,
that's some of the boys. Like Orbo straight away was like, "Oh nah, he's sweet."
He's not coming. Yeah,
and Orbo understands, bro. I went out a beer before the other day, and it was mad. It was good to catch up with the old following.
Yeah.
But he was like I tell him all the time, my mentor coming through, and like he'd tell me like, "Oh, bro, you should do this, fix up this or whatever."
So Orbo really helped you.
Yeah.
Like,
so Orbo was a big part of me developing. Through that NRL stage. Yeah. Which was mad.
What was something that he like? Wisdom that he kind of imparted on you that you really remember?
He wouldn't say much. Like, he wouldn't have to tell me much because he knew I had my head screwed on with everything. And I think it just come down to like the footy part where I was getting stressed out with everyone, and I'd go, "Oh no, we should be doing this and this and that." Because I'm pretty outspoken when it comes to footy, because I like to play the way I play. And then when we're talking about a game plan, I'd speak out and say, "No, I don't reckon we should play like." And people go, "Shh."
Yeah, bro,
like,
shut up. Yeah.
shut up, you fucking coaches. Like, fuck
But it's just because you love it. You love it.
I'm like, I don't think that's going to work.
Yep.
But I wasn't experienced enough to say that, and go, righto. But because Orbo's been there and he's played it a lot longer. He's experienced where to win games, how not to win games. And the way I was talking was like pretty much out. I was talking out of school because, I'm thinking about, this fella's going to chip and chase at training, but he doesn't get it,
Yep.
And we don't practice that, you know what I mean? If I'm practicing that and I get it every time on the game, no one's going to question me, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But the 9 times out of 10 that we train something and put it in and instill it into us, the more we're going to execute and do that. And that's what he was pretty good at, like just the little things, and good yarns. Like if I get homesick, I just have a yarn to him and say, bro, I don't know what to do, this and that. And then especially with, the contract stuff, he was pretty, he was there for me and I was going through it. And it was just, he gave me a bit of advice. Said, Buzz, look, I don't know what to say to you. Like, I'm here, and I love, because I said, bro, I wanted to, like, that last year with Orby would have been the Mickey, being that with him, the 300 and whatever, his 6 games he's played, and top cap. And bro, I was mad. I messaged him, say, bro, I love you, bro. That's mad.
Yeah.
Proud of you, I look up to you, shit like that, bro. I said, bro, I love you, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. And it's what I mean, like, you build mad relationships. And Orby, like I said, Orby was a great, great role model and obviously a great clubman, and helped me develop coming through that grade stage, which was massive. I appreciate it that much,
It's that experience, bro. They know, like for example, like he can see you're really eager to put your opinion across, but he just go to you, bro, like this is how you can say it, or like
exactly.
This is the reasons why we do this. Whereas like someone that's not as experienced might just be like, bro, shut up. Whereas like he can talk to you about it, and be like, and just guide you in the right direction. So okay, I used to ask all the boys this, I haven't done this in ages. If everything goes perfectly the next 12 months, what are you doing in 12 months' time?
Win the comp, boys.
Win the comp, Rabbitohs?
Nah, that's the goal. I want to win the comp at South. It's grouse, I was with a friend at dinner there last night, and we are just saying, bro, you think you won a comp? Let's win one here and let's see how you feel. And I was like, let's go. And that motivated me a lot more, because that's the skipper saying that to you, you know what I mean? But I just he's a good lad, and like I've really worked out we've had a mad relationship over the last couple of months, and like it's nice to feel wanted, bro. Like be like, yeah, bro, you're my and that's the skipper saying that, bro, and you go, right, I want to play for this fella,
100%.
And Wayne saying the same, I want you here, mate, like you coaching. And me playing fullback, and that's what it gives you a buzz, bro, when Wayne's saying that to you. And it's going, this fella wants me in his team. He's the greatest coach ever. And that's what's like, we come back to people wanting to play for him. Like, it's grouse, bro. I want to play for him. I don't want to play for this arsehole over here. I want to play for Wayne Bennett, bro, the man, and like 100%. He gets it.
Oh, he gets it, grouse, bro. And he just knows that different people need different things, bro. I've said it before on the podcast, but there were times when he would sit me and Darius down and be like, look, I know that you aren't like aggressive players that are going to try and like shot people on that, but I know you're really passionate, so I need you to channel that passion. And like, I was like, bro, I can't believe someone actually gets me, you know, like I'm not that aggressive. I don't want to hurt no cunt, but I'm super competitive, you know? He's a fucking gun, bro. And I asked for favourite rapper of all time.
Me?
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, bro, put it on me now.
Favourite rapper, Tupac, Biggie?
Yeah, he's the grouse.
Yeah.
Me and him share the same birthdays, bro.
Oh, sweet. What, Biggie?
Tupac.
Yeah. Fucking hell, bro.
Mad, eh?
That's hectic. Favourite movie of all time?
Favourite? Either Happy Gilmore or...
Yeah, that's a gun movie.
Grouse, eh?
Gun movie,
love it,
bro.
It's the funniest.
Gunnest movie
best.
ever. That's it, bro. That's, thank you so much for coming on, brother.
Thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate it, eh?
And the Rabbitohs boys, man, I fucking love watching you play, bros.
Let's go.
Boom. Thanks, brother. Just a bloke in a bar.